So we've got a very big weekend coming up. Obviously, the big game, Super Bowl. And what was interesting, and I covered it on my afternoon show here in Southern California, was the amount of times that Peyton Manning said the word Omaha during his game against the San Diego Chargers, which I was at, by the way, and had a fantastic time. And I tell you what, people in Denver, I don't know if it's because they legalized weed or whatever, but they are the nicest people they're the nicest people I have ever seen. They were so cool. It was like, Deb, it was like I walked into a Nordstrom. When we walked into the stadium, it was like, thank you so much for coming. And it was like, what is this? So you walk in, it's like a little foyer. You know, when you walk into the Qualcomm Stadium, which used to be called Jack Murphy Stadium, it's a big concrete jungle. And you walk in and there's concrete. This thing has like a carpeted foyer with nice furniture into it when you walk in the stadium. It was awesome. So that Omaha Steaks thing, that got a little traction, Deb.
It did.
So
It
what's the intersection of Omaha Steaks, Peyton Manning, the Super Bowl, and social media? Because I hear there is one.
Yes. Well, and it's funny because I love the story because it's how big companies are now capitalizing on Twitter, on Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. It's an activity that the world is watching. They're paying attention to. And there are a lot of things in Super Bowl right now that's happening where a lot of companies are encouraging to tweet, and they're doing campaigns, they're doing giveaways and contests. And they really Omaha started it when they actually were poking fun at Peyton Manning's audibles during the Super Bowl, during the game where Chargers were playing with the Broncos. So of course we all pay attention to that in San Diego. And it was 44 times in all that he yelled out Omaha in his audibles anytime he wanted to kind of change the play. And it's a popular term, but it didn't change people's just making fun of it. So Omaha Steaks, one of the tweets in the morning is, woke up to 652 missed calls from Peyton Manning.
Because
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, Omaha was. What's interesting was Omaha is a first. What it did is it's a signal to their center, saying when he says the word Omaha, you hike it on the next thing I say. It's like is one. So that means the count's on one. And I don't know what it is, but you heard him yelling and screaming. So we all thought, well, boy, wouldn't it be great if Omaha Steaks did a endorsement deal with him? And indeed, they did the next week. And so the next week they said, look, for every time he says Omaha, $500 to a charity of his choice. Now, what's happening in the Super Bowl now? Is there going to be you think there's going to be some sort of a drinking contest?
They're doing a campaign and a contest where every time he yells Omaha, and again you tweet with Omaha.
So you have you have to tweet.
You have to tweet to Omaha Steaks, and they're running contests so that you can win their package or whatever they've put together. So again, it's a model. I look at this as a model of what can other companies do. And if you look, what happened is during that game and other subsequent games, Omaha became a trending topic, right? So if you are following your name and you're tracking your name or any type of keyword related to your business, like Omaha Chamber of Commerce also paid attention to it and they interacted. So if you're following trending topics that have to do with your company and you don't capitalize on it, you're crazy.
So whoever the social media person at Omaha Steaks was brilliant.
Should get a raise
because first of all, because it was Twitter 101 for business. Because number one, I mean, think about this. If you truly think about this, you say use humor,
right?
And you then use something topical, and if you can latch on to a bigger name, and make it relevant,
which the Super Bowl, you don't get any bigger than that.
Or Peyton Manning, So Omaha Steaks, tweets out, woke up to 652 missed calls from Peyton Manning. And I'm thinking that in itself, aside from the fact that the model is there, that is a perfect tweet.
It is.
I mean, it's a perfectly executed tweet.
Yes.
From a big company who the hell's Omaha Steaks, but a big meat company, right?
Yep.
So it's interesting. We'll see what happens this week. And does anybody know if Omaha bought a $3 million ad for 30 seconds? Did that happen?
I'm curious. What's interesting?
Well, it would be great if they did, and he was in it.
Well, I think I'm going to disappoint all your male audience when I tell you I'm not really that into Super Bowl as a sport for the football game.
But you like it for the commercials?
I do. I watch it for the commercials.
I would argue to say that as a population, I would say that Americans, if you just took the whole population, like the sheer number of people that watch it, I think more people are probably into it for the commercials in the game.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Hey, tell us about a little bit. Facebook has obviously had great earnings. The Twitter IPO did terrific things, but Facebook. I mean, let's look at the stock today, guys. Stock symbol FB. If you take a look at Facebook today, unbelievable jump in revenue and earnings. Facebook is up 15% today. It would take, and Gabe Wisdom told us this earlier, $18 billion going into the market today to get that stock to jump that high. So $18 billion was pumped into Facebook today through outside investors. Now, keep in mind, this also means the people that sold stock to the people that were buying stock. And that's what's called a double print. If you think about this, Facebook is not only a juggernaut in the business, in the social media industry, it is the end all be all. We're all using it. We're all on it.
Yep.
But now it has proven that it's a strong company with their business model.
Right.
Deb, what I want to know is this. They're not doing anything other than advertising. There's no other model here, is there?
For their financial
Have
model?
they created any other thing? I mean, they're not charging you for search engine. They're not charging us to use it.
Well, here's the biggest complaint with the social media people is that we all used to be able to use it for free. But you have to remember that we're using their space, right? And now they're starting to say, if you want your post seen by all of your fans and friends, you have to pay for sponsored post. But at the end of the day,
so explain that. Explain that.
Yeah.
So when we post something, not everybody sees what I post?
Not anymore. No.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to discuss that. So when it says boost your post,
yes,
that's not boosting it to outside people. That's boosting it to my own people?
To your own people. I mean, it will still also go to outside people, but primarily it's going to be so that your fans will actually see that post. So that way, when I get up in the morning, first thing I do is I check my news feed on Facebook, and I scroll up and I'll see promoted post or sponsored post, and it's typically at the top. So my friend who posts that or sponsors it, literally they'll be the first post I see. So for $8 or a couple dollars, it is worth it if you think about that type of advertising. If you've built up your fan
it's a
base
business
and you want to,
if it's something snarky like me, that's you've seen my posts. Most of my things have nothing to do with business. Most of my stuff is really juvenile. So I shouldn't spend the money. But if you're in business, it's time to spend the money.
Absolutely.
All right. Will you come back next week and play out with us?
Sure,
All right,
absolutely.
there you go. Coach Deb, CoachDeb.tv. That's her website. You can follow her on Twitter at Coach Deb. And if you, I think she's got do you have a fan page on Facebook yet, or is it just a personal page?
I do.
What's your fan
Coach
page?
Deb.
Coach Deb.
Coach Deb.
Go up
everywhere.
there, follow her, watch what she does, and you will go forth and prosper on social media.